So here we have the Swagman E-Spec rack with some ET Cycle F720 fat bikes with 20-inch wheels. This model of bike, since it doesn't have a crossbar up here, a top tube, you have to get these Swagman top tube adapters. They're $45 Canadian. And they attach to your stem and your seat post. Here's how to unload them, and then I'll show you how to load them. So you undo the straps, the wheel straps down here. And then up here, you use your key to unlock this if it's locked. Press it in and pull it up, and then the bike's loose. And then with the ramps, you would put the bridge here and the ramp there and unload it, although it's a bit tough. Or you can lift it off, but these are 80-pound bikes, so they're not super light. To take this off, you press the indent button here and put these arms over. Like so. And then to put it back on, same thing but backwards. Make sure you don't get any cables in there.
And those just like ratchet click into place?
Yep, they have this detent button. Make sure that button is fully coming out and you can't undo them.
Yep. Very nice.
So same thing with the rear, but you have to get it around this front piece. So it's a bit tougher. I'm actually gonna undo the wheels first. You don't want the bike falling into the car because you'll dent the car.
Good point.
Take these right off and try and fold this down with one hand. Lean the bike a bit towards the car. Then lift it out and off. Again, they're heavy, these ones. If you have a 40-pound bike, it'll be much easier.
Yep. And as far as weight goes for bikes, are these like up at the top end of the scale, like 80 pounds?
Yeah, these are, you probably shouldn't, there are a bit heavier fat bikes, probably not by much, probably by 5 pounds. This rack can hold up to 80 pounds. So it's the only rack I could find that can take 2 of these bikes. 80 pounds per bike, so 160 pounds total.
Right. And to undo these latches, they just, you just push this and then it just slides out,
Yeah,
right?
they're like a snowboard binding.
Right.
And you're gonna want to align these a bit offset so that the cranks don't hit each other on these specific bikes, but there'll be similar scenarios for other bikes.
Yeah, you don't want them like exactly side by side. This
Right.
one's a little bit more forwards.
Right. It wouldn't hurt actually if this one was back a bit more, but it works as it is. So then to load them, same thing but backwards. You have to lift it up pretty high, and if you have a truck, not a low car like this, you're gonna have to lift them even higher. So it's not the easiest. So here we got these wheels positioned pretty well in there. And then I'm gonna lift this guy up. I have to lean the bike really close to the car to get it up. Put the big one on first for the back. And then once we get that down, we can kind of let go of the bike.
Yep.
And then do the straps. So here I had to move the wheel a bit so the spoke wasn't in the way. These are like a forged type of wheel, so you'll have different spokes on a normal bike wheel. Make sure that's nice and tight. Find the right spot. Make sure that's nice and tight, and there's this rubber wheel protector that you want right over the rim. This is a wide rim, so doesn't cover it fully, which is fine. And then same thing for the second bike. As you can see in here, down in here, the cranks don't hit each other, which if they do, they will cause scratches and damage as you drive down the road, but nothing more than cosmetic. And then this guy, push it down. Give it a shake test. Make sure everything's good. Do the wheels up. Make sure these knobs are tight so it's not sliding around. And aside from your hitch pin down there, you want it torqued at 90 foot-pounds at the receiver in the car down in here. This bolt, the 23 millimeter one, needs to be torqued at 90 foot-pounds. And this guy here, the folding pin, needs to have this over it and the cotter pin in the way too. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very good.
That's how it's done.